Hey guys, so this week life has been kind of crazy. My mom had surgery, my grandparents are in town, and everything's just kind of been a little bit off. But in all of that, I have been staying at home doing school. So I had nothing to make a video about. So since there was really nothing to make a video about, I decided to make something that I've been thinking about doing for quite a while now, and that's guitar words explained. There's a really big pause there. Also, in the intro, I called it Guitar Lingo Part 1. It's kind of either one. I'll be going back and forth, switching in between. But this is going to be a 3-part series, starting with things on a guitar. And these are going to be pretty simple. The last one's going to be the most kind of for experienced guitarists. But these are just words that guitarists use that, unless you've been playing guitar for a while, make no sense. We have our own entire language. And if you hang out with guitarists, this could be helpful to you. Or if you're just starting to play guitar, these will help you out a lot, because I know when I was starting, I would go onto YouTube and watch videos, try to learn songs, and they'd use all these words, and I had no idea what they meant. But after some exposure, getting used to it, all that stuff, you end up learning. But this could be really helpful. I know this would have helped me a ton when I first started. Also, if I sound kind of weird, I'm not filming how I usually film. I literally have my phone sitting on a dictionary to get this right. Also, the flowers and everything have started to bloom, which means it looks great here, but my allergies are also killing me, and I'm staying up in the night sneezing. So if I sound a little weird, I'm sorry, those are the 2 reasons why. And how this is going to work is I'm going to say a word, and it's going to come up on the bottom, like right around here, somewhere in there. And it's going to say, either it's just going to say the word, or it's going to say the word and then electric only. Because I'm using my electric guitar, and everything that's on an acoustic is on an electric pretty much, but not everything that's on an electric is on an acoustic. So the first word we're going to go over is body. Now this is like the most simple one, and it's this thing. From this to this, all of this part, everything except this up here. So that's a pretty simple one. Next we're going to do the saddle. Now this right here, this curve all the way to up here is called the saddle. This is where you're going to rest your arm. If you're talking to people, you can rest your arm right there so you can look cool. But this is called the saddle. Next we're going to go to the bridge. Now that's this metal thing right here. This is what your strings hook onto, and this can be raised and lowered to deal with intonation, which is a whole nother world that I'm not very good with. Next we're going to do pickups. Now pickups are these little boxes right here and right here. These are humbuckers. In an earlier video called My Guitar Rig, if you want to go back on my channel and check it out, I actually said these were single coil. I was wrong. I was misled. These are humbuckers. Now we go to this, which is the pickup switch. And sometimes it'll be located down here, usually right here. One guitar I think was made like down here or something, but it's usually here or down there. And this makes you choose in between this pickup or this pickup, because these are 2 different things. Right now, I am on this one. All my sound is coming from this pickup, all of my signals and everything. Switch it like that to the down position on this guitar. It changes back and forth between different guitars. I'm on this one. And what's nice about this is I can go right in the center, use a little bit of both. It just gives you different tones, because up here sounds different than up here. I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds different. Now we're going to look at the knobs. These are these right here. They're little knobs that turn usually 1 through 10. And some guitars have 1, 2, 3, 4. The only ones I've ever had have either had 2, 3, or 4. Pretty much to get a 1 knob you have to go with an Eddie Van Halen guitar, but that's about it. Now these knobs can control, usually control volume and tone. and you just kind of have to figure out what does what on your guitar because it's going to be different for every brand pretty much. Next we're going to go to the neck, which is off of the body, like I said earlier. My strap is doing something funky here, sorry. Okay, I think I got it straight. Now, this is the neck, this part that comes down here, all the way down there. Hello. This is where your playing hand goes. You can do all your fancies down here. Now the top part of the neck is called the fretboard, and it has frets on it, which a fret is in between these little metal things. Each of these, if you know music, it's a half step. So 2 is a full step. You can do 4, which is 2 steps. It's just a great way to tell your notes apart and kind of keeps you on track. If you look inside some of these frets is a fret marker. And these are just a thing. They're also down on this side. You can see those little dots there. But these kind of just keep you on track because if you just get really into it, sometimes you'll get off and then you're like, oh, where do I need to be? And then you can look at the fret markers, know exactly where you go. Now what you actually play and what you pluck and finger and everything are the strings. I told you this was going to be super, super simple. These are the strings. They're strings, little wire things made out of metal or nylon, or if you want to go back to the medieval times, they were made out of like pig bladders. Yeah, they're pretty gross. Now this down here, right here, is the headstock. This is just kind of where your strings lock into. This is also, if you don't pick up your guitar right, what smacks you right in the head and tends to hurt. But this is the headstock. Now, on the headstock are these little knobs, and these are called tuning knobs. And it's a series of gears that tighten your strings or loosen your strings to get them in tune. If you look on the back, you'll see these kind of little like boxy type things, and those are the tuners. Now earlier I said that these kinds of pickups were humbucker pickups. These, there are 2 different kinds. They're humbucker and single coil. At least those are the most common. Somebody may have made another one, I don't know. And that just has to do with how the wires wrap around like the magnets or something. It's really complicated, but they sound different, and that's really all you need to know, is that they sound different, and you just kind of have to choose what you like. I thought I liked single coils, then I went back to them and played another guitar with single coils like this. Well, like a guitar like this, but with different pickups, and I actually didn't like them nearly as much as I like these. So, it's all a personal preference. Now, the last thing on the list is a whammy bar. Now, I don't have one on my guitar. These are only on electrics. And really, they're used a lot in like 80s rock and metal. I just got over it. I had one for a long time with my old Ibanez, but just got over it pretty much. Because it makes your strings go out of tune, and if you have one that makes it not go out of tune, it's a super complicated thing that I didn't like dealing with. But what a whammy bar does is if you look at the bridge, it's nice and kind of not exactly flat on the guitar, but it lays there pretty solidly. With a whammy bar, it will actually take this and bend it up. So if your bridge is laying like this, it'll make it bend up, and that loosens your strings to give you a different tone, because how strings work is it's all a tension thing, and if you loosen the tension, you get a lower note. Whammy bars can also be called tremolo bars. That's the more like precise and technical name for them, but pretty much everybody says whammy bar because that's how we roll. Now I know this has been a super rapid fire way to do this. This video actually turned out to be longer than I thought I was